Hello everyone, this is Paradox, the creator of Cartographer, and this is going to be a video going over various information in Cartographer Loot Editions pack. This is meant to be a kind of introductory video slash information on the pack and how some stuff works, as there's been a lot of changes recently, and I wanted to make a video guide to help people out a little bit. This is going to be a one take, unedited, no scripted, kind of just me rambling through all the features, so you might have to jump around a little bit, but this is the best way it is to record for me, and I wanted to get something quick and fast out there for everyone to know. So to start with the pack, we're going to type trigger give dev box, and this is going to give all the dev boxes in Cartographer that are currently installed. As you can see, I got 4, but we're only going to be focusing on 1, so we can remove the rest. And I have them placed already for convenience, but I'll place it down to show that you can open it up and everything's inside. So this box contains a lot of stuff, and it first contains a Dyes item frame, which this works with Rock and Red's Dyes 2.0 pack, which works as a custom item placeable. That's a separate pack that Cartographer uses as a library, so I won't be going over it because Red has already done a fantastic job of doing it himself, but a lot of these features will use Dyes frames in the background and hidden. There's also a bunch of other barrels inside here, and these contain various player heads that will have unique drops when this pack is installed. So if I pull out one as an example, and player heads in this pack can be picked up by walking over them, but you can also place them and break them, and they'll break faster. And they will have designated preset drops, so you can see this one says drops white glass. Oh, you can put on your head too, I suppose. And there are a lot of them in the pack. So these are all different colors of glass from vase, useful for maybe giving out free blocks to the player without using a chest. These are terracotta vases, which are similar. They drop glazed terracotta instead. These are various organic items, so you can see there's one for granite, sand and bricks, dirt and bricks, leaves, gravel and flint. And there are also some for potions. So these are basic types of potions. So for example, a basic strength potion, basic haste potion, basic water breathing potion. There's also a couple of extra special ones like conduit power. There's instant health 1 and 2. There's a health boost potion, a resistance potion. These have not been updated for 1.19.4 to use the new potion colors, so these need a general revision. But for now, these do still drop their intended potion types that are listed on here. As well, there are also material caches and supply caches, and these will drop various materials. You can see they drop things like diamonds, raw gold, emeralds, raw copper, etc. And we have supply caches. These will be for things like feathers, gunpowder, XP, raw fish, arrows, ender pearls. This one has a bit of random variation to it, bone meal, and apples, and the like. One other unique feature of these heads is that if you place a head in the same spot, it will always roll the same thing. That doesn't necessarily mean it will roll the same drops, but the loot table is seeded basically. So it should drop 8, and it drops 8 arrows again. So basically, if you place a player head in the same spot, it will always be the same drop. Now to clean these up. So that goes over the heads really briefly, but there are also 5 other things here, and these are unique placeables. And I'll pull all these out and start going over them one by one. And I'll also pull out a couple other things I might need. And I'll pull out some easy loot. Everyone loves notch apples. So the first example is a loot altar. This is what it looks like when you place it. And the way these work, if I pull one notch apple out and put it in the frame, it will then change the appearance and it will look like this. And these altars will basically protect the item if there's a nearby enemy hostile mob. So you can see currently that I could walk up and left click this right now. But if I put this down, you'll see that it covers with glass. There's an animation, and the mobs nearby have resistance 3, meaning that they take more hits to kill. And when it's unlocked and open, you can see an animation plays and the glass is removed. If another mob shows up, it relocks, and just to confirm, I can't pick it up. So kill the mob one last time. And now I can pick it up, and then it will automatically vanish. All of the loot additions placeables will have a barrier and they are display entities inside the barrier. So there's no way that you can interact with this in any other way, and this also can't be destroyed by anything in the object. This is a dies frame, so you can also modify it just like any dies frame, although there might be some poses that don't fully work. Not all of them have been tested, but generally things like the size and the count and things like that will work just fine. If you want to break it, you have to be in creative mode, and you just punch the frame, and it will go away, just like that. The next option that is what was an original Cartographer loot editions is the multi-choice pedestal, and these are built kind of in this way. You can see that there are 4 frames on them, and you don't have to use all 4 frames. For example, I'm going to punch 2 of them off this one for demonstration, and I'm going to grab 2 different items and put them inside. And so, if you press this button, it will form the pedestal, and it will give you the prompt on top. This prompt will always be visible, but you can't see it through walls, so because it's a text display. And if you walk up to it, if you right-click at the top of it, you'll see that there is a villager GUI that demonstrates the potential items that you'd have. This is so the player can see the exact NBT of the item and know exactly what they're getting. The reason it says only one can be taken is, well, once one of them is taken, the entire platform will disappear, including the remaining items. So, I took the diamond, the emerald is not available anymore, the platform is gone. And you can have up to 4 of these, so I can grab a couple more items just to demonstrate, and I will also demonstrate the NBT. So if I put the 2 diamonds in here, and then left click, you'll see that this one actually has 2 diamonds, meaning that the count and the NBT and all that data is actually preserved in this frame over here, which is how dies works, but it shows you the exact value of what you're getting. And all of these can be broken in creative by punching out any of the frames once it's made. You have to make it first, otherwise it won't work quite right. But once it's been made, you simply punch one out, and it will all vanish. The next one that I can go over is the soul chest, and the soul chest is meant to be a replacement to a chest. So that means it requires a chest first, and I'm going to put the chest down, and I'm going to put, let's say, 3 items in it. And so the soul chest, as it reads here, is placed on top of the chest to convert it. And you can see this is what it will look like. And so this chest, if I go into survival, I can't interact with it, I can't break it. I can try all I want. You can't hopper out of it either. There's no way to cheese this because this is a barrier with it displays in it. And the way this works is to unlock this chest, you have to kill mobs within 16 blocks of it. And you can see that when a mob is killed, it will start updating the progress bar on the top, as well as play an animation. And once it's finished, it will play this animation, and it will open. And it opened this way because I placed the chest in this way. And you can see the chest is opened. The soul chest requires a number of kills equal to the slots occupied. Not the number of items in the chest, the slots in the chest occupied. So this would also be 3 kills. This would be 4 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills, 7 kills, and you get the idea. The progress bar on the top will always have 4 skulls, and there will always be a percentage of the kills finished up to, and each skull is obviously 25%. And so if I put into, let's say, 7 items just to demonstrate, this will take a little longer to open, but we can go ahead and start killing mobs. You can see kind of in the corner, it fills up, shows the bar. You can notice it's still 4 skulls. And yeah. There's no way to delete a soul chest, simply kill mobs nearby it. Any mob will do, passive or hostile. It's just a standard scoreboard kill count. And then you can remove the soul chest that way. You could also break the barrier and run a /kill command on the entities nearby, but it's probably easier just to open the chest yourself if you don't want it there anymore. The next option is the locked chest. If I can find it. Here it is. Oh, right. This one is also a place on top of chest. My bad. So, place it down there. You can put whatever loot I want inside of it, and then you can lock the chest like so. And then you can see in the chat will prompt you to give it a block. And so let's choose a interesting block. How about Warped Nether Wart? And you will right-click on the chest. That will set the lock on the front, and that's only cosmetic. and then you can set the key of the chest, and the key can be anything, and it will be NBT specific except for count. So if I grab let's say another star and right click, this chest is now locked. If I try to right click this chest with anything, you'll see it says chest is locked. If I try to unlock it with anything like this, we won't use the item frames because that might damage it. You can see it won't do anything. If I try the golden apples, it won't do anything, although I can't eat them, so you can see it is checking the interaction. If I right click on this with the key item that I set, it will unlock the chest, remove it, and allow me to open it. This works with any item in their specific NBT. So if I was to relock this chest, set the block as, let's pick a fraud light, and then use this sword as the lock, it will require a sword with this specific durability to open. So I grab a different netherite sword, go back into survival. You can see it still says the chest is locked. I have to use this sword with that durability. You'll also notice the item is consumed, so be careful what you make your key. Future pair here, there is one more structure that I did not go over that I would like to go over, and that is the budding pedestal. This is a new and recent addition, and so hence it wasn't gone over earlier. This is similar to the loot altar and the multi-choice pedestal in the fact that it places a structure to put an item on. And so let's choose, let's get ourselves a trident and put the trident on there. And you can move it around and the like. It's a dies item as usual. And so what will happen, and ignore the noise, that was just because I went into survival near that guy. What will happen is if you walk up and take this item, you'll take it, you'll notice the item does not go away. But if I try to take it again, you'll notice that I can't take the item again because I've already taken the item on this current life. If I was to die, so I will go ahead and /kill, Karen will activate that. Let's take the pack. Pick up my items real quick. You'll notice that I will be able to pick it up again, only once though. It won't let me do it again. And so this is the case for, it tracks this based on the pedestal, based on the player. So if you walk to a different pedestal with a different item, you can take that item as well, as long as you haven't taken it yet that life. And once you die, all pedestals become retakeable again. This is really good for things like objectives or vanishing items for specific areas. There is a custom interaction with dies and Cartographer. And so you can see here I have a chest with NBT data, and it has 8 melons inside of it. And the interaction is with putting an NBT'd chest or any container that can store items into here. And you can see it will make this little treasure cache instead. It can treat it like a dies item. It is still a dies item. You can modify it, although I've not tested every pose, so there could be some unintentional appearances or behavior if you change the pose too much. But it can be treated like a dies item, and if I go to survival and break this by left clicking it, because it's a dies item, you can see it will create all of the items that were inside the chest and put them on the ground. And it will also make them glow, place a little animation. And so this is a loot cache, and this is mostly useful for giving out a large reward of items quickly without having to use a chest. And that's it. And that about wraps up everything in the pack. Thank you all for watching, and I hope this was informative and helpful. Enjoy your mapping. Thanks.